Tonight on our Great American panel, he, a Democratic strategist. He's worked with New York Senator, my good friend, Chuck Schumer. Fox News contributor Chris Hahn is here. She, a Fox News political analyst, Republican strategist. Angela McGlowan is here. He is the former chairman of the RNC, former U.S. ambassador to the Holy See, and former Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Jim Nicholson is here. What do you think of that Cracker County remark?
Well, it illustrates again, this equal treatment that people get.
Double standard.
Double standard. Yeah, you call the president the entertainer-in-chief, and you're being racist. I
didn't even. I mean, he tried to sing, and I was. Do you find anything offensive about an entertainer-in-chief?
Listen. I mean,
come on.
He sang. Bill Clinton played the saxophone. George Bush tried to tell jokes once. I mean, they all try to do it. They should stick to what they should stick to their day job and leave the.
Here's a compliment. I didn't think he sang that bad.
No, he did sing that bad.
I thought it was pretty good.
I got the ringtone coming.
Charming, but I don't think that it bodes well for any party to start calling people names.
No, listen, name calling is never fun in politics. It actually demeans your message, and I think you got to just move on and talk about the facts.
All right, well, here's the facts. When the president said that Republicans want dirty air and dirty water, when the president says, the president of the United States, Republicans want kids with Down syndrome, autism, and the elderly to fend for themselves, and then complains that the Romney smear machine may be coming after them. Wait a minute. Is that proper for the president of the United States to lie like that?
He did not say that.
He said that.
He said we do not have to settle for that. He didn't say
that's not what he said.
That. He said that our changes do not necessarily mean we have to settle for dirty air, dirty water.
But
no, the Republican plan, their plan is dirty air and dirty water. That's what he said.
Politics, because when you have the leader of the free world stand up there and say, in so many words, that's what Republicans want.
Well,
you're going to have certain people out there.
It's not just the president. It's a whole Democratic tactic. What they do is they accuse you of what they're doing. I mean,
they're good at it.
Very good, and they get a lot of help from
dirty air. Democrats are for proper regulation to make sure we don't have dirty air.
Chris, do you think I want dirty air and water?
Absolutely.
Do you think any Republican wants dirty air or water?
I do not think they do.
No, they don't. So the president purposely misrepresented so that he can score cheap political points.
I think that Republicans have too much faith in the private sector, and they're willing to allow
dirty air and dirty water.
Which leads to, listen, I've been to Buffalo, New York. I've been to the towns outside there.
So have I. Chris, I live in New York.
There's lots of dirty water there. There's a whole town that's
gone. But basically, the leader of the free world is using this as a political game, so people will give him more support by saying that Republicans are bad.
This is a policy. This is a policy
and I know
discussion.
I don't want to drink
This is not a name-calling exercise. This is saying, hey, this is what I believe.
You know what? I'll tell you one other thing. Take it when Paul Ryan points out the obvious, which the president didn't have the courage to address and lead in the State of the Union about Medicare, which are going bankrupt, like the country's going bankrupt. Doesn't mention it. You're right. And here's Paul Ryan comes up with a plan, like it or not. And what do the Democrats do? They get a Paul Ryan look-alike, put an old lady in a wheelchair, and they throw her over the cliff. Well, is that how you're going to?
I want Paul Ryan to stay away from my grandmother for a very long time. But if he really cared about the deficit and debt, he would have voted for Simpson Bowles when he had a chance. He was on the Simpson Bowles.
That was the president's commission.
He should have voted for it. He would have been the deciding vote. It was one vote away from being
because it was flawed in some ways. Go ahead.
You know what? So you're saying in essence that Paul Ryan does not care about old people when he was.
Does that cross a line for you? Throwing Granny over the cliff. Does that throw a line? Draw a line? Is that over the top?
Political ad. It is
I don't care. I'm asking you, does that cross a line?
Bottom line is negative. The problem with negative ads in this world.
So you're okay with it?
Ads work.
Say it. You're okay with it.
I'm a political strategist. I've done negative ads in my life. It's going to happen.
You support it.
Do I support it? Do I think it should? Do I think it should be?
It's a lie that you support.
It's a lie. I think that.
You think Paul Ryan wants Granny thrown over a cliff in a wheelchair? So it is a lie.
His plan basically is going to say, my grandmother, when your medical expenses that we give you a coupon for runs out, you're on your own. What does that mean to people living on fixed income?
This is what the campaign's going to be.
Exactly.
This is it. And you're going to defend it.
And let me tell you something. We're going to win. Because
win by lie.
No, you're not.
All right. We'll continue more with our great American panel right after the break. Where's Gomez? And we continue now with our great American panel. All right, so Colonel Allen West, Congressman West, says, take their ideas and get the hell out of America, unquote, unquote. He says they're ideas. All of a sudden, in this moral, outrage, selective moral outrage, all of a sudden, your fellow Dems are all upset. And I'm thinking, if he says take these socialist ideas, these bankrupt ideas, these ideas of trillion-dollar debts out of here, European socialism, why is everyone offended by that?
Well, they shouldn't be. I mean, it shows the frustration of this guy, the 24-year veteran of the United States Army, combat infantry leader.
Hero. That's a great line. Yes, Angela.
Master parachutist who's a patriot, and is just, his tolerance level is reaching
I'm not going to say anything bad about his record in the military or anything else about him, but his record as a congressman for the last year and a half has been horrible.
But you know,
and some of the things he's said has
because he voted.
That does not
He's a
give
crybaby.
Congressman Jim Moran the right, because this black man apparently stepped out of line by saying the things that he said. It does not give Congressman Jim Moran the right to say that he doesn't represent the African American
You're
community.
right about that.
It doesn't give him the
Hey,
right
Chris,
to
do you know who the biggest crybaby in Washington is?
You got to know Moran.
Wait a minute. You know who the biggest crybaby in Washington is?
Who's the biggest crybaby?
Obama.
Mitch McConnell.
Obama. You want to know why Obama's
John
a crybaby?
Boehner.
He blamed. Oh, all right.
Give me that. Give me that.
All right. I'll give you a little ground there.
Thank you.
But Obama blames the tsunami, and he blames the earthquake, and everything is responsible. President Bush, talk radio, Fox, Karl Rove, Rush Limbaugh, me.
Listen, at the end of the day, we'll see how the people are feeling around October.
He said
30th.
if he doesn't fix this, it's a one-term proposition.
Well, things are starting to look up. You look at Ford's
Read
numbers.
the CBO report.
More people bought cars this January by
the worst housing year in
But you have
2011.
1.8 million people right here in New York on food stamps. That's 700,000 more.
I thought he fixed it.
Yeah.
I thought it fixed it. I thought it was better.
Things are getting better.
700,000 of them have come onto the roll since Obama was the president.
The Beatles had a song called "It's Getting Better All the Time," Sean, and it is getting better.
Did you read
all
the CBO report? They said chronic unemployment will go back up to 10%, 30% increase in taxes, no dramatic change in the economy as far as the eye can see, 4 consecutive years of trillion-dollar-plus debt.
3.2 million
I know,
jobs.
he inherited it.
3.2 million
No, you're
private
wrong.
sector
We have a
jobs.
net loss of 2 million jobs since he became president.
You're counting jobs lost.
I'm counting
in the
since he's
first
been
5 months of him
president.
being president, and that's 1.5 million of those 2 million jobs.
I gotta go.
And
Listen, I gotta go. Hey, listen. Today is a very special day here at the Fox News Channel as we're celebrating the fact that the network has been #1.